Oh, yeah, Party Pirate 102.1 FM. Now, on the phone with me, Mr. J.D. Lewis from Swampgrass. How are you, J.D.?
We're really doing great today, man. It's a wonderful, beautiful day.
Yeah, I heard you wound up with the grandchildren.
We did. We had a heck of a time with them. We got them just in time for them to catch some viruses.
Oh, that's always nice. Get them sick and send them to grandpops.
There you go.
Now, you were here. Now, J.D. Lewis and Zetha Lewis, right?
That's correct.
Okay. See, I wasn't positive, and like I told you just a minute ago, that I hate butchering somebody's name. Now, you guys were here, Swampgrass, and you're just a duet, right? It's just you and your wife.
That's right. It's just a duet.
And you guys were up here at the Radio Bar and Grill, and I did not make it due to having to go to work. But did you have a good time here?
Yeah, that was a really, really nice we done. It was set up good, and the folks were real nice there. Had a great time.
Well, now, what I normally do, and I tell everybody, this is all about you. Anything you want to talk about, it's cool. If you want to talk about your grandmother's apple pie recipe, that's great, but that's not getting your music out there. So whatever you want to talk about. Now, you played here. Do you have any other gigs coming up soon?
Yes, absolutely. We have a couple of really important gigs coming up. We're doing a fundraiser for a young lady on April 26th. Found out just right out of the blue that she had a horrible case of epilepsy, and her mother and father had no insurance at the time that she was hospitalized. And so that date is going to be when we're going to be down in Apollo Beach at Ricky T's restaurant. And we want everybody that's in listening distance of this broadcast to come down there and show you support and help us out with that one.
All right, and what was the name of the restaurant?
Ricky T's.
Ricky T's. And where? It's in Apollo Beach, and that was...
It's right on Highway 41 in the Apollo Beach Plazas right there.
Okay. And what time is this going on?
From 12 to 4.
From 12 to 4, and what day of the week is that?
It's on a Saturday.
Saturday. Man, I don't get out of work till 4.
We're going to have a lot of good entertainers there, too. Some of the best bands and entertainers in the Tampa Bay area is going to come out and help us all evening long.
Well, fantastic. Now, that's one. What else you got coming up?
We'll be at Uncle Mike's in Plant City. That's going to be on April the 27th. That's on Sunday. We do the Hog Heaven Biker Sunday there. And we do that every 2 months right now, but then when she has someone that doesn't show, she gives us a call, and we're in there a little bit sooner.
Oh, cool. Now,
one thing we'd like to mention, too, is that that Mother's Day weekend, right here in Plant City also, the old high school, they have what's called the Florida Opry there, and me and Mr. Frank Thomas has teamed up. He is the icon of Florida folk music right now, and we're going to be doing a concert series there. And Mother's Day, that's May 10th.
The event is May 10th.
May 10th is the event, and if mothers bring a child, they get in free, and it should be a great time for all. We're going to have some really good storytellers there. A whip cracking judge is going to be there telling his stories, and then we're going to have a really good band out of North Florida come down and do some great music there. And of course, Frank Thomas and I will be doing some of our music also.
oh, cool. Now, you're originally from Plant City area, right, J.D.?
A little bit south down there around the Wimauma Riverview area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was reading your bio on Reverb Nation, and parent of 4, and how many grandkids you got?
We're up to 8, I believe, already.
Well, I guess they know what to do in Plant City.
Yeah.
Well, I got 2 youngins and 2 grandbabies, so, the boy gave me a granddaughter and the girl gave me a grandson, so it's all good. And we got all bases covered.
And our youngest, she hasn't even got started yet.
Wow, then you got 3 with 8.
Yeah. Yep. It could turn into a rather large grandchild situation here with us.
Well, but it's all about family. Now, I was originally online when you guys actually I was here when you got here and had to leave because I had to get up and go to work. But I was actually online for a few minutes before y'all got started watching you set up. Now, it is about family, and it is about your music. And the fact that there's not a lot of couples that can spend a lot of time together, especially, extracurricular activities such as what you're doing. Do you find it to be a stress sometimes when you're out on a gig and maybe things ain't going right and you kind of look at each other and like, really? Why are we doing this?
Well, the answer to that, I guess, would have to be straight and honest. We're real people too, and we all have those times when we look at one another and say,
I want to choke you.
Let's see if we can't figure a better way around this. But something always clicks in me and tells me not to give up, don't quit, to keep going, and that's why I do.
Well, and absolutely, that's the American pride in all of us. You get up in the morning, you put your feet on the floor, and you take a step forward, and that's the best thing you can do every day of the week.
Well, we were both from broken homes and were raised by our grandparents. And when we got married, I was 14, he was 18, and we told each other that day that our children would never experience what we did, that we would always be there. And we just, last Monday, the 31st, we had our 35th wedding anniversary. So it's called, give and take, and you want to choke each other once in a while, but you realize, gotta keep going.
Well, sure. Actually, my wife and I, end of February, have 26 years together, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Trust me. The fact that
give up too easy.
No, the fact that I ain't dead yet just means that I keep the guns locked up. Now, this is Artist Hour, and we definitely want to hear some music. Now, we've got 5 songs up here, and we're going to be talking between each of them, and I'd like to know actually where some of these are coming from, because they all are original, written by you, I assume, JD.
Yes, that's the first 5 acoustic originals. Now, I have 2 more albums I'm working on, and I write acoustic country Florida folk, and I write acoustic Americana country, so we're kind of in 2 different genres, and I have a whole lot more music that I'm trying to get recorded and get out. But those first 5 are very roots, story-type songs about real people and real places.
All right, well, the 5 that are up here. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's kick it off with that Never Knew the Difference, and we'll explain a little bit about that song and some of the history that goes with it. All
right, cool. Here we go, guys. This is, now, are we going under Swampgrass or are we going under J.D. Lewis?
That's something we haven't totally decided yet, because folks love the Swampgrass name, and it gets their attention, and other folks say, well, you don't want to be labeled as this or that, so we're not sure what to do about that, to be totally honest.
All right, well, then we'll do it this way. J.D. Lewis, soon to be or not to be Swampgrass, coming at you from the Party Pirate 102.1. This one's called Never Knew the Difference.
Mama made biscuits on a lard can lid. Papa plowed the field with a mule in his bare hand. Never knew the difference between rich and poor. We blessed Mama for the cook and prayed for rain from the Lord. We got brand new shirts made from burlap sacks. That kind of living's hard on your back. Never knew the difference between rich and poor. We blessed Mama for the cook and the devil for Papa's boy. Yes, sir. We bless Mama for the cook and pray for rain from the Lord. We worked real hard in that Florida sun, but we slept real good when the day was done. Played in the rain running off the roof, walked 1,000,000 miles on the Grange Hall Loop. Never knew the difference between rich and poor. We blessed Mama for cook and pray for rain from the Lord. Walk barefoot to strawberry school. Just another day in that sky so blue. Never knew the difference between rich and poor. We bless mama for the cook and pray for rain from the Lord. Never knew the difference between rich and poor. We bless mama for the cook and pray for rain from the Lord.
Oh yeah, never. Ooh, let me turn this down. Never Knew the Difference by J.D. Davis, Swampgrass. Now, ooh, I noticed why that was so low. I didn't have the volume all the way up.
Uh-huh.
All right, now go ahead and explain to me. Never Knew the Difference.
Well, never knew the difference comes from family history. My family came from Alabama at the close of the Civil War. My great-great-grandfather, Obadiah B. Stanford, served in the Confederate Army, and he was in the Company D of the Lewis Battalion. Now, he was honorably discharged at the end of the Civil War, and he was a farmer. When they decided to make this journey, they come in a covered wagon, and they came to Florida with another couple, and they found a little piece of property in Brandon, a homestead. When they got here, there was no roads. Now, folks listening, please take a second and think about that. There was no roads in Florida talking about here. only dirt trails and wagon trails. They split off. Some of the families went a little further south and started being strawberry farmers back in the day. Now, they took 40 acres with a mule and a plow, and that's what that song was about. Never knew the difference. They didn't know if they was rich or poor. And them kids, if you was old enough to hold a hoe and farm and get them strawberries in, you've done that until the crop was in. That song that we called We Walk Barefoot to Strawberry School, that wasn't a pretty name on a building. That was what they did with Florida children that couldn't go to school because they was working at home. In the wintertime, they opened the schools back up and called it Strawberry School so they could go to school.
Wow. Yeah, well, back in the day, what was the old joke? If you had dirt, you were rich.
Exactly. Yeah, and these folks now, I mean, like I said, we're talking about farming with a mule and a plow and by hand and no electricity. My grandmother and grandmother told stories, and I was just a little bitty baby and just walking good, and I remember just a few of the stories. She actually talked about Seminole Indians coming through their property, and her father let them camp on the Little Manatee River in southeast Hillsborough County because and they never had no problems with them.
Well, yeah, now they have more money than God, but
that's the truth.
And a lot of it is my wife's, or well, in the long run, mine. But
And until the last, I would say maybe 10 years ago, the remnants of the cabin still stood where they had planted in the orange grove on Grange Hall Loop, where this family was raised there in southeast Hillsborough County.
So you've been a Florida native family-wise for quite a long time now, coming from the Civil War era, and I'm a transplant, flat out truth. I'm a military brat, and so as a kid to now, you've seen this area, I don't want to say necessarily grow, but change, because some of it is not really positive growth. It's just change.
You're touching on something that's very touchy. I am a 7th-generation Florida pioneer family, which makes me go back. And you talk about being a transplant. It doesn't matter where you're from. You should grab onto your heritage and written down or recorded either just on paper, in a poem, and song, whatever. Everyone should do that, no matter where they're from. But yes, I have seen some changes that has broke my heart. I've seen the woods that I used to roam as a young man, a young boy, the hound dogs, man, just like some of these movies you saw. We'd go out and we wouldn't come back for 2 or 3 days. We'd stay gone camping and fishing and hunting and shooting deer and eating what we caught.
Sure.
and shot. And I've watched those woods get plowed down and turned into deserts with these big companies and things and housing developments, and it takes a part of your heart away.
Well, absolutely, because that's one of the reasons I was majorly raised in Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
And my father actually went back a few years ago after my mother passed away and told me, how it changed. Now, I never saw the change. I went in the military. I'd been gone for years. It's been probably 35 years since I've been in California. And I don't want to go back because I don't want to see the change.
I don't blame you one bit. Northern California I've never been there, but I've seen pictures, and that's a beautiful place.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. But exactly what you're saying, what used to be, whether it's a grove of trees or wine fields, are now highways.
It reminds me of that song that John Prine wrote. And it says, "Daddy, take me back to Muhlenberg County." He said, "I'm sorry, my son, you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train done hauled it away."
Yeah, I remember that song.
We first got married, we actually watched them break the dirt on Interstate 75 out here out of Riverview area. We used to run our four-wheel drive truck all up down the dirt before they got it pavement.
Yeah, we made a playground out of it, and we didn't know how serious things were going to get, but we made a playground out of their work there.
I've been known to go on a few construction sites myself, and some of it wasn't really good, but I didn't get a record from it, so we're all right. Because nowadays they really take a dim view on it. It's actually federal charges.
Oh, man, they take it serious now.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, now, I want to get into some more of this music. Now, we've got Devil's Half Acre, Summer Ends Too Soon, They Live On, and White Rose. I've been looking at this White Rose because my wife, actually, if I buy her a rose, it's got to be a white rose. So tell me about this song and where it came from.
Well, that's probably the only song on that whole CD that I haven't lived, this song. But, and I feel in some ways I feel like I didn't deserve to write it. And then I have my wife and other people say, "No, you're an artist. You deserve to write anything that comes to mind." That song, my friend, is something that when I do at a show, I tell the folks out there, if you've got a loved one at home, hug them tonight. Give them that hug that you were thinking about giving them. Don't wait, because tomorrow might be too late. And your dear wife is probably just as dear to you as mine is and everybody else's. And that's a song about how I would feel if my white rose was gone tomorrow. So if you want to kick that off, we'll listen to that one.
All right, sure will. Here we go, guys. White Rose, and by the way, I have listeners online with me, including Dina Mead, saying Swampgrass. Keep it. They like it.
Nice.
All right, guys, here we go. A little White Rose by Swampgrass.
gray. If roses are red and violets are blue, then white must be the color for missing an angel like you. If roses are red and violets are blue, then white must be the color